at Dobsonville Stadium, and we've got the home side or home team coach, Coach Daine Klate, representing NB Masia. They will be playing up against Mamelodi Sundowns, as I said, at the Dobsonville Stadium. And 1900 hours is the kickoff time. You need me to adjust something with the
maybe the chair, the name is a bit short. So
Yeah. Oh, you must sit a bit forward.
Okay, maybe we must just move a bit.
Yeah, like that.
You see him?
Much better.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I think if we get into it, Coach, thank you. Welcome back. We haven't seen you here at the offices for a long time now, but you come back, on the other side as a coach. But just, your thoughts heading into this match against Mamelodi Sundowns. What can we expect from NB Masia?
Yeah, I think for a club like La Masia, I think it's a nice occasion. I think it's a big learning experience. I think the whole club, all the players, the club, the management, everybody aspire to be on the PSL level, and that's where Sundowns is. Obviously, I would probably call it a David versus Goliath clash, if you're really honest about it. But I think, look, massive respect for Sundowns, massive respect for the technical team. We can only learn as much as we can from this type of situation, this type of match, as we obviously looking to get promotion to the PSL. That's the ultimate goal. That's the bread and butter. But be that as it may, I think it's a perfect opportunity for the players to really see where they are and for them aspiring, all of them aspiring to play in the PSL. I think it's a perfect opportunity to gauge themselves against South Africa's best, if one of Africa's best teams.
Thank you, Coach. Let's take questions from the floor. Just by a show of hands, we'll take the first one. Okay, let's go to Daine.
Hi, Coach.
Yeah.
Daine from Soccer Duma. Everyone's looking at me because they say La Masia is my team. You guys are from Western. But I want to ask, the team in the community is viewed as a beacon of hope, especially with what's happening. When you read the news, you see that people are being shot left, right, and center. So more than the result, I want to ask, how important is this game in terms of giving hope to the youngsters, to show them that a team from their community is competing against one of Africa's best, like you said, and what sort of impact, because you guys train in the community, you're right there in everyone's faces, you're a beacon of hope. So I just want to ask the importance in that sense.
I think that's a fantastic question. Thank you so much. I think, it's a community club. I followed this club when it started. They were still playing the Stephen Pienaar tournament back in the day. So obviously the chairman, Mr. Nazir Baker, has come in and really invested into this club, and it's amazing to see how the club has gone through from the bottom tiers right up to the first division where we are now at the moment. But a beacon of hope. What's happening in the community where this club stems from is really sad to see. It's really sad to see that even the Pienaar soccer tournament has stopped, because of these type of gangsterism and these happenings. So I think tomorrow at 7 o'clock, maybe the whole of Westbury, Riverlea and Eldorado Park will probably come to a standstill and obviously watch the game. We'd hope that nothing bad happens between those 2-3 hours, and that's what it's all about. For those 2-3 hours that the match will be on TV at Dobsonville at the stadium, as many people can come and support the team and many people can watch the team from their homes. And hopefully there's no sort of gunfighting for 2 hours. I think that will be a milestone in those areas. So I have a fantastic understanding of what this means for the community. Bar the result, I think just the fact that the club is up against Mamelodi Sundowns, their name comes up next to Mamelodi Sundowns is a big achievement in itself.
Thank you. Let's move on to the next question. Question here.
Morning, Coach. Coming from our film, YFM. Coach, I want to ask, are you seeing a growth in you as a coach? I mean, you're at Chippa United, Baptism of Fire, and now coming to La Masia. So, growth in you as a coach?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of growth. The last time, I think when we played Sundowns, when I was the coach down in Port Elizabeth, I think I already knew before the game that I'm not going to be there after the game. So that was a learning curve for me, and the 7 matches that I did, I did have to take charge of in the PSL was a massive learning curve. That's why I accepted the job in the end after 5 attempts. I eventually accepted the job down there, and I experienced quite a lot in that short space of time. But it's all about my growth, and yes, definitely I've grown over the last year or two. I think the environment I'm in now, I'm even growing more. When I look at coaches that inspire me, like coaches like Coach Rulani, I think he's one that inspires me. When I was busy playing, he was busy growing as a coach. So it's fantastic to see how well he's doing and how well he's managing Mamelodi Sundowns Football Club. But yeah, we have to look up to them and we have to learn as much as we can. But yeah, definitely I'm happy with the way I'm going, and I'm happy with my growth as a coach and the way I'm learning. And I'm looking forward, in the next 4 or 5 years to be maybe on a different level.
Okay, we've got a few hands here. Mufati and then Lorenz.
Good morning, Coach. I just want to check here. I mean, obviously, we all know that Sundowns are on a roll and have done well and with everything from analysts and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Which with due respect, can be a far cry from what you guys operate on.
Yeah.
Now, when you play against, when you're going to play against a team like this, how do you play? Do you simplify it? Do you zoom in and do all those complicated things that these people always do? How do you plan for them?
I think the planning and the whole order around the club at the moment is just, you got to go into a game like this with a lot of heart. Besides tactics, besides all that, we can go through all those type of things. We can analyze the game to the T. At the end of the day, it's about 11v11 on there, and are we mentally strong enough, and do we have enough heart to say that in the 1v1 duels that we're going to come out on top. If Sundowns is on top of the game, they're very, very hard to stop. But be that as it may, I think, if we give a good account of ourselves, that's all we want, is the effort levels, We can't be talking about our effort and our willingness and our desire, So you got to encourage these boys in doing it and doing the unthinkable with a lot of heart. I think that's the most important thing, the heart and the mind mentally is the most important thing for me that I'll be looking at. And obviously there's certain situations, certain things, and I can always come from a place of experience of having been there, having played against Sundowns back in the day, and having had a lot of joy against them. So it's all about applying yourself properly with the right mentality and the right heart, with the right desire. Of course, everybody expects Sundowns to beat us. So maybe that's a even better tag for us to have. I won't even call us underdogs. I think we're probably less than underdogs in this situation. But yeah, it's all about heart and mentality and enjoying the occasion, enjoying the moment, and taking every moment and playing every moment as it comes, and just hope for the best and be positive.
Lorenz?
Coach, I think it's 3 draws, a defeat and a win in the last 5. But potentially against Sundowns, you're going to face them, you say, weaker, but it's not really weaker. Is there a slight bit of hope that it's maybe not going to be, the strongest 11 on the pitch?
I think when we talk about hope, we gotta have hope. The reason why we're here is because we had hope. We went down 3 times against Baraka in the preliminary rounds and came back 3 times and beat them in the penalty shootout away with 10 men. So again, we can go back to that point of reference for ourselves, and obviously I don't think Sundowns can be weakened, if we could call it that. I think they've got a squad of players that is aspiring to compete on the world stage. They want to win the Champions League. They want to go to the Club World Cup. That's their ambitions. Our ambitions is to get into the PSL. Where Sundowns is currently. So I don't think there's a lack of hope. I think there's always hope. There should always be hope. We can't go into the game and just roll over and say, no, we're playing Sundowns and they're going to beat us. I think it's my duty as a coach and as a technical team, myself and Manib, to encourage these boys and to motivate them as best as we can so that they can go out there tomorrow with a lot of heart and a lot of passion.
All right, last round of questions. Takers, let's see, Mahindra, Mazola, Tako. And we'll take one final one. Belile will have the last one.
Thanks. Coach Daine, obviously having been a player yourself in this cup competition, the pros and cons, especially for lower league teams. The ambition is obviously to make it to the top flight. The balancing act, how are you going to work that out? We saw a team like Dondol last season, hoping to build on their cup run, but they ended up not making it as far as everyone thought they would. What is your thinking in terms of trying to balance the two ambitions?
Yeah, I think the most important ambition for us is obviously to do well in the league. Last season the team was fighting relegation in the first division, so obviously they survived the relegation. We are currently sitting in mid-table, probably about 7 to 10 points away from safety. That's still the most important thing. That's the bread and butter of the team. Obviously it's to get promotion, but we've got to be realistic and really think about it. I think the Sundowns game comes at a good time for us as well, early in the week on a Tuesday, with our next match only being the 1st of March against Maritzburg away. So it gives us ample time to obviously absorb whatever's going to happen tomorrow and rectify whatever needs to be rectified going forward. But I think the most important thing, and I know for sure that it's the status in the first division, and obviously trying to get out of the first division into the PSL. I think there's no two ways about that. But if I go back to Baroka and how the Nedbank Cup inspired Baroka to get into the PSL, as much as Dondal did well last year and didn't kick on to get promoted, when Baroka did it, they eventually got promoted to the Premier League. And those type of stories are very, very good. I was part of Orlando Pirates team that got hammered 4-1 against Mamelodi in 2013. So I think I've got experience and I know a little bit more about the Nedbank Cup and how it works. If you are complacent as a so-called bigger team or PSL team, and the teams at the bottom show fight and heart and desire, anything is possible. But that's what the Nedbank Cup is about. It's about the Davids versus Goliaths, and it's about the unthinkable. So I think it's an opportunity for us to obviously try and achieve the unthinkable. But be that as it may, I think we'll just go out there tomorrow and just give it our all and focus fully on this match at hand, because our next match is only the first. We can only take one game at a time, and I think we'll be fully focused on this match.
Coach, just to build on Lorenzo's question, do you take anything from the fact that Mamelodi Sundowns haven't won the past, let's say, 3 games, the fact that they're not firing like we'd expect them to? Do you guys take any hope from that? Motivation, maybe?
I think if I look at us, the past 3 games, we've had 2 draws and a loss. So we're pretty much in the same boat as them when we come to that. But I think form goes out of the window every time a cup match gets played. That's one thing that I know for sure. And a team like Mamelodi Sundowns, you can never ever look at their previous game. It will probably give you pointers as to how they play and what they're about, and they're playing personal. But I think for the most part, I don't really look at that at their previous results. On their day they can be very, very devastating. That's also one thing that I do know. So no, I will say no, that I'm not looking at the past results. Similarly to our results, it's all about the next match and getting a positive result.
Yes, legend.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. No, I just want to ask about you come at a time, and there was a time when the Municipal Foundation Championship, the NFD, it was said to have its own coaches, maybe not too much open to new ideas.
Yeah.
But I look today, a breath of new fresh air, when we look at some of you guys who are coming into that space. The football is also improving as well. How would you describe coaching in this division? And also, if you can just let us in on your players in terms of who has impressed you, and also maybe what hopes do you have for them in their football career?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I said when I was coaching in the Diski League that I kept reiterating that eventually when I go to senior level, I'm gonna come across players that has played in the Diski League, and how true is that? I've got Stellenbosch and Chippa United players that's part of the club that I coached against and that I coached at Diski level, and I come up against players that also comes from Diski teams from different teams in the first division, but it's a tough league. It's a very, very tough league. You got to have a strong team. I think we've got a very, very strong squad of players, I would say. But there's a lot to work on still, and there's a lot to learn as well. The nice part about the club like Masia is when I came there was already a playing philosophy. So it's my duty to enhance that playing philosophy. It's always good when you come into an environment and there's already a philosophy instilled, where that we try and play a passing game, we try and build up from the back and and the type of players that we look at signing, obviously, it's players that must have their careers ahead of them. As much as I have my coaching career ahead of me, you got to also work with playing personals, also got the careers ahead of them. So, once the two gels well and we're all heading in the right direction, in the same direction as a club and as a team, I think that will argue well for the club going forward. But we obviously have our plans, our set plans, and we obviously do a lot of research and we look at other teams and how they operate. But I must say there's a very, very diverse style type of football that different teams adopt. A lot of times you have to play a little bit different as well in certain scenarios and certain way that games go. And obviously, there's a lot of experienced coaches as well that has been around in this league, and I haven't been around that long. But be that as it may, it's all about the growth and learning. And I must say the level of the Motsepe Foundation has really improved over the years from what I can tell and what I'm experiencing at the moment. There's a lot of analysts, there's a lot of tactics that goes into it. There's a lot of investment that needs to go into certain clubs. And hopefully it improves in leaps and bounds. But I've been really, really impressed with the way that the matches has been organized and the environments and the atmosphere and the playing fields. It's really becoming a little bit more professional. The fields as well. There's not a lot of bad fields that you can complain about. Like when you go into Africa, you will complain about the bad fields. But I think in the first division, the teams are really, really trying hard and they're trying their best and hoping it will improve. And obviously more investors will come on board to improve the league, because I think it's important for us as a country, especially with Bafana doing so well in the AFCON. There's only 16 teams in the PSL currently, with the 16 in the first division as well in the ABC Motsepe leagues. That's where obviously we would want to go in and scout for raw talent and obviously nurture that talent and turn them into players that can compete, that the Mamelodi Sundowns can sign one day. So it's all about that, and I've really, really been impressed, and I'm really enjoying myself in the work that I'm putting in. It's really good to see where the first division is and where it's heading to. And the teams that get promoted obviously is to try and stay in the PSL. But in a nutshell, I think the league has really improved over the years.
Thank you, right on time. We'll end it there, Coach. Thank you,
you.
and all the best for tomorrow.
Thank you so much.